Thanks. Fran reminded me.
So today is April 21st. It is 7 o'clock. It is the Communications Committee meeting. In attendance is Councilperson Koss, Councilperson David McNamara, Councilperson Berger, Mayor Tiffany Hughes, and our Assistant Barb, as well as myself. Going straight into it, the email trial, we're going to have our 30-day trial from May 1st. That me and Barb's going to be working on. Again, this is just going to be like our text alerts. But it also gives us the chance to do multi-mass email messaging. So anytime we send an alert out by text, we can now reach everybody that we have email addresses for. And according to the survey, they preferred email. So I'm really excited to see it. Barb, your keywords, you were on it. Like, this is what we've came up. All I could think of is volunteer. I think you've covered all of them. So we got each of the committees: communications, community, finance, legislative, safety, streets, planning and zoning, village council, police, pool, newsletter, legislation when something's passed, posted, to be determined, and then the calendar events. This can go from all of our meetings to our food trucks, as well as volunteer opportunities. So before we go into that, do you guys have any other suggestions of keywords that we can have for that? I should have waited for David.
Storm
That's
sewer?
all good.
Yeah,
I wouldn't understand what's going on.
storm sewer. Do we say that?
Would that be part of
That-
streets?
That would be in
Yeah, I
streets,
would,
right?
but I mean, some people may want to just be updated on that one separately. No?
Since it's a big topic.
Yeah,
I would.
Okay.
I think part of the thing with like safety or this or that, I think like having safety and police, I think it would hit both of those people. So I think
Yeah.
that person might not be thinking safety, even though, it's a safety issue. So having safety and for the people that would, but having police. So I think sewers would be the same thing. I think if you had, not to be dumb, like even, I wouldn't want to go this far at this point, but if it really works, I mean, even just like potholes, like what's going on with those? Why haven't they been done? Mosquitoes is another
Bigger
thing.
topics. Yes, mosquito
So-
spraying, that's a good
Yeah.
one.
So like, when are we mosquito spraying, or what's an update, or, because she does post a lot of times, anytime they're going to spray, like if there was a West Nile or something like that, she posts on the website that there's mosquito spraying tomorrow at 4:00. So if somebody typed in something like, again, I don't know if you would just want to do mosquito or if you want to do spraying, or, because I don't know how picky the topic is, whether you would want to, because I think it's always considered mosquito spraying is how we would say it, but we would just want to make sure on our end that we're posting whatever the keyword is, that we know it would be hit. So,
Or could we hit like a larger thing with like spraying for mosquitoes, but yard waste pickup?
Yeah.
Kind of do it. I mean, I don't know what the correct terminology for that would be, or would
I
it
think it would
be?
be, but I think the other part to this, the reason that you're doing the trial and error, let's see what it does.
Right. 100%.
What are, and not to be dumb, we could have, not to be dumb, but we could post some extra things in the next 30 days that we typically might not post all the time, but something that says sewer project instead of something, maybe it just barely is a sewer project, or we just post a couple of those things just to see what does come through.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's,
News item? I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Barb.
Would a news item, like if on the website, there's a place for latest news,
Mhm.
some things might be covered there, and some things we might want to do just like a text blast, like we do with the texts, that something particular is happening this day, and email blast everybody with that.
Yep. And it's going to be just as quick as it takes you to do that text blast too. And I do think you're limited to characters to a certain extent and how many graphics, but again, the thing is we can have these templates. Me and you can design them. So it's just insert and grab and send it out. You know what I mean? So there's kind of like a brand to it as well. I was thinking maybe we add something for the building. I mean that.
Hold on. Before we
can-
go, hold on. I have a point. Do we have analytics on our website? that monitors all this stuff? Because the analytics tell you what keywords people are searching for to land on our website.
We can do an SEO.
It's
Cool.
free, analytics.google.com. Put that in there.
Barb, I can show you how to do an SEO ranking.
And then we'll know what keywords people are searching for. And
That's
that
a
way
great
we'll
idea.
That's awesome idea. I
It's
didn't even think of that.
way easier. Work smarter, guys, not harder.
So
Just
if you guys really,
remember-
if you think of any more, I mean, let us know. That way we can just add, like the mayor said, I think it's going to be trial and error. We're going to see what we get responses. We're going to have people that unsubscribe. I mean, we might as well know that. But I really do think once we push that, I do think people are going to kind of, we might just be surprised. That's all I'm saying. So does anybody have any feedback on that?
I think
No,
we have a
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it's a great. Now, are you guys gonna just do, I know originally we talked about like each individual person having like, so not one or two people were taking all the brunt of this. And maybe I'm saying this wrong, but were we gonna do like, I sign up for sewers and Nikki signs up for newsletter, and then we just kind of collaborate on what types, or are you guys just gonna have your email as all of these different things?
Well, see, the thing is, wait, Tiffany, I don't understand what you're asking. I'm sorry.
So in the trial, one of the things that we had talked about, Barb and I had talked about a while ago, was just like each individual person going on there and registering and, you know, basically saying, I want newsletter and I want sewer things just to be emailed to me. Are you guys just going to do those right now? Or do you want us to also go in and register for like one or two particular topics in this trial?
As soon as this goes live, we'll tell you, and you guys
Okay.
pick them. That way you
Okay.
can see what's going out. And once we got this set up, the keywords are a one-time thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's 2 seconds to go in and put another keyword.
Right.
So that was the big thing. We always talk about what does that look like from the village official side. So it's not all thrown on Barb.
Right.
Anytime she uploads that newsletter,
It's just
our
gonna go.
keywords are automatically kind of refreshed. So it's not any more work. Once we get that keywords, again, it takes 2 seconds. So we can add, take away, I mean, and we can add as many as we want. I mean, we'll see which ones do better. And it's just a whole nother opportunity to communicate is all. So.
And I think as you continue to move forward, you're also going to have things that go on. You're going to have things that are coming up like walking paths and pathways and things like that. And as you know, we're talking about these specific things. People could just be Googling that and that not be a keyword now. But 2 months from now, we may have a different keyword, amphitheater, for example. Maybe some people just want stuff to be sent to them about the amphitheater. Like, what in the world's going on? Why do I keep hearing the word amphitheater? And maybe they go on there and do that. But once that's done and over with, maybe we remove it and you know,
like
get
big
something
events.
else out there.
Current
great
big
idea. Like,
topics.
we could have done like TIFF.
Exactly. What is a tip? No, but seriously, that's, or just finance. I mean, again, finance would be another, anytime there's something new posted about finance, because people are concerned and it would be nice to know.
So.
Now, this is just a personal question. Will we be, I know you said that we can tell like certain words that people are searching and, you know, this and that. But is this also, will we know like how many emails at the end of the month were sent out for sewer or who
I
subscribed?
can tell you who clicked it, how many
Okay.
times they clicked it, how long
Perfect.
they viewed it, if they forward it. And then what we'll do is we'll have our website, then we'll have our social medias link. So
Okay.
from those emails, how many times did they click onto our website from that? And how long did they stay?
Okay.
How long did they visit our social medias? Which social medias? How long did they stay?
Okay.
So this one little area is going to open up a whole bunch more data. That way we can kind of specialize and tailor into those kind and fine tune it.
And I think that's going to be great when we do get ready to do the survey. You're going to see like what is of interest to people. What are they saying? What are they really clicking
Yeah.
on? What do they want
And
to
it
know
lets
about?
us kind of,
Right.
dive in and know exactly what we need to include. So does anybody else have anything to add on that? I'm just watching the time. That's all.
Yeah, we
So,
have like,
Communications for Diversity Week. I'm just going over, a lot of you guys know a little bit about what we're doing communications wise. However, I wanted to kind of like update you guys and we'll be posting tomorrow. So this starts off June 5th through the 11th. We are starting it off at Arts in the Park with a cultural coloring table. I knew I was going to chew that up. just a lot of coloring pages about fun facts about lots of different countries and lots of different things that people celebrate. We are going to have a canvas painting. However, Jason texted me this afternoon and said he's kind of altering it a little bit because we're kind of adopting this handprint thing, the different colored handprint, and we're making a diversity friendship tree. So every resident can come and kind of put their handprint on the tree. And I think it's an awesome thing to say that we'll be able to take to our new building. I think it's incredible to be able to say that we would have that. Videos. So far, I got a woman from Kenya that is in her traditional dress, cooking her national dish and speaking about what she loves about Minerva Park and, some fond memories of growing up in Kenya. And then I have a Nepali family, and I just spoke to a couple of deaf residents. We have quite a few deaf residents. And I am getting them to say we have Minerva Park Pride and ASL, which I'm stoked for. I'm just excited that we've included them. So we'll have like 3 videos, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we'll have their videos. And then on those other days, we'll have like fun facts about this country, or did you know that, this religion celebrates this when we celebrate that, just fun games. Kids activities. We're doing a flag game where kind of like the Easter egg hunt where we put the eggs in the houses. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah.
Certain people will be able to have flags from where they originate from, and the kids can go around and see what flags, and they will actually have a book of activities and fun things about that flag and just little educational stuff. I don't know if you guys saw, Jason came out of the woodwork with this. He's worked so hard on this. He has developed an app for adults to actually go along with these children, and there's flag games, and it's going to have the Village of Minerva Park in our hands. He's going big. So I just wanted to kind of update you what you guys are going to see in the next couple months, just communication wise on that. Does anybody have any feedback on that?
Do you want or need something on our side? Like, I know MPCA is doing certain things with Arts in the Park, but is there anything that we're putting in the newsletter? Like, I know I have my mayor's report and all that kind of stuff in the legislation, but do you guys, when's the deadline? I know you guys should know when the deadline is. I know I don't, but we just did that. Is there something we want to start putting in there? Because this is the May edition. This might be our best opportunity for it.
Because the next one's going to be too late. So Jason has talked to Diane about putting something, because if we wait till the next one, it's already going to be too late.
What day is it? Is it June 2nd or June 5th?
June 5th through the 11th.
Okay, yeah, because it may not hit until then. So no, I just wanted to see if we were doing anything in the newsletter, at least to start with, because some people, that is their number one form of communication.
Which brings me to my next topic. So thank you. Okay, so MPCA, I talked with them at their last meeting. The newsletter is their biggest expense. And they are wanting to, or they're thinking, they want to go virtual completely. And again, I said exactly what all of you are thinking. We are an older demographic. We have people that may not be the most computer illiterate. I get that. So I talked them into, and again, this isn't a full thing. They want to kind of start maybe with quarterly, with printed versions at the community building at all times. However, they want to do monthly email alerts, because MPCA has email capability. The village will have email capability. So we do fun facts. They can do theirs 1 month. They can do meet your neighbors or this and that. But again, it's just talk about. So the logistics and stuff like that, I know we have to have this and this and that. I don't know that stuff. Right. So, I just wanted to bring that to you. And I told them I would bring that to you guys to get your feel on that. I did bring up, maybe, do we get a whole bunch of people that are more computer savvy and we all bring our laptops to the community center and say, we're hosting a senior, set up your email day. You know what I mean? Let us get you started. Let us connect you to the World Wide Web. I don't know. It's just a thought. Go ahead, Anastasia.
I'm gonna say I'm against it because I feel like that's like our last way to reach everybody. And some of these, like, some of these residents are like almost homebound. They're not gonna like venture out to
Sure.
meet. You know what I mean? Like, this is like our last way to reach everybody. And I feel like we're getting out so much news in other ways, like just eliminating this, I feel like would alienate a lot of the older residents. And this is one thing I would like to hang on to. Because it's like the only thing we have
It's a
left.
great point. It's a great
Yeah.
point.
Just as a fun fact, we won't stop our newsletter. Our newsletter is going out.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm here to tell you that as long as I'm here, I'm going to fight for the newsletter, because here's what I will tell you. I've had this, MPCA is their own, they will do what they want, and I will not say
Correct.
anything negative. They're going to do what they want to do. I do hope that they give us a little bit of a warning, because we have a budget. And we have done our budget based on that. And I will have to come back to council, because it's going to ultimately cost us more money. It is not about money for me when it comes to the newsletter, because, I know some people may say, well, you don't do enough communication. Here's what I will tell you. That newsletter goes out every single month, and that is my #1 form of communication, as old school as it may be. I know that newsletter lands in everybody's mailbox. If you choose not to read that, that is on you.
That's on
not
you.
us. Now, everything is not in there, but I will always say that at least it always gives a link to the website. It gives a link to Facebook. It gives a link to all of those things. So for me, I am totally against MPCA doing that, but it's not my choice. I think it is your #1. And here's the other part to this. I know we all have different people that reach out to us and they do different things. And I will tell you, I would love to give names, and maybe after this I will, but and one of them actually just recently passed away. But when he has been in the building, he will tell you, he would tell you that his newsletter, he actually stopped in to get his copy of the directory, because again, that is the way that he worked. He wanted the directory, he wanted it in hand,
Yeah.
he thought it had extras. But he also, he always, every time I talked to him, it's actually a really good friend of mine, her dad. And he would always tell us how important that the newsletter was to him. And he knew that there was talk of getting rid of it. And he was appreciative that the village was not planning on, regardless, getting rid of it. As long as I have council's support and I can have the money, and this year I know I have it, and I will fight. There's not a lot I'm going to fight tooth and nail for, but that's one thing I will. I'm not interested in getting rid of our portion. I will need to come to you guys for an appropriation if they decide to go quarterly. I will not go quarterly. Again, I feel like every 3 months it's just not. There are residents that look for it that very first week. There's another lady that I talked to that also lives on Alder Vista, and every time she gets it, if there's something in there, she picks up the phone, she calls me, I'll even say it on my personal phone, because I've known her for 25 years. But I know that she reads that thing every single time she gets it. She actually, she's called me numerous times. So I am in support of the newsletter. Again, I know I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'm here to say that.
No, that's exactly why I brought it, to get your guys' feedback.
I will beg you guys. That is one thing I will beg for money from you guys, is making sure. I love the text blast. I love the email option. I love the new website. I love the fact that everybody is excited about making sure we have every avenue covered. But the one thing we know is that this is mailed to every single person's house.
According to the survey, they did. They had high ratings of receiving that newsletter. Yes. And I actually sent a copy of that 2018, and I said, can you imagine how the numbers are different now? So that's been sent to them.
Wait, one last thing. Sorry, I don't want to waste too much time. But like, just even from my demographic, I guess I'm only speaking from anecdotal evidence, but when we moved in and we got that newsletter, it like felt like a sense of community too, just like an
100%.
And my husband, like, he can read the emails and he can do that, but you know what happens? He gets the mail, he like looks over the newsletter and he like asks me, hey, what's going on here too? Like, it's just a quick glimpse of what's going on. And I agree with, totally agree with the mayor that I think it's vital to everybody, despite what people think about digitizing. I think there's still value in print.
Absolutely. I very much agree.
Tangible in your hands.
Right. My emails, they just get lost in my emails. I wake up every single morning like you guys do. And the first thing I do is I log onto my emails, and I have sometimes 100, sometimes 60, and sometimes I have 300 emails. Let me just tell you, delete, 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 delete all the way down. And sometimes, unfortunately, I delete the wrong ones. But sometimes it's just so
It
overwhelming.
sounds like we're all then in agreement here
Yep.
on keeping the newsletter. I
Yep.
can say I don't know what it is now because I am no longer, or my wife is no longer our secretary or whatever she was for MPCA. I know for a while they were thinking of doing it because they just can't afford it. They're half of it monthly. I know at one point, I don't know if that's still the situation. So that might happen. And then if it does, we would then just have to pick up the cost as the municipality, but
Yep.
sounds like it's not going anywhere. So Nikki, what's our next topic?
Thank you. Okay, this is the last one. Okay, so chatting with council, we got to start talking about that. So we have one June, right? I was thinking June, September, and December. So I need your guys', I need to be able to visualize this. What does this look like? Who runs this? Because I've never been to one. Who runs this? Also, how do we, I can see it now. How do we make an informal meeting and not expect certain people to show up and try to take over that meeting? And is it informal when we don't have a timeline? I don't know. I've never been to one, so I'm all ears.
Right.
I really said this about the Hawthorne one afterwards, about how impressed I was with how well it went off. Let's assume that we have some sort of idea of a topic that we're going to do for these. We have a big ticket, whatever thing to talk about. So there's a little 10, 15, however many minute spiel on that. And then we just say, if you have questions, here are the people to go around and talk to. Because I know with the Hawthorne, that's what then just collapsed, because otherwise it's people walking up to a microphone and making speeches.
Mhm.
And if it's just go up and ask someone a question, you don't get to stand and make a speech. So I just think the way it was done at Hawthorne might be the way to and whoever thought of it doing it that way, brilliant idea. I said it to anyone who
Yes.
would listen that night.
Well, and then
that
we
might
wouldn't
be
have
the
to
way
worry
around
about
it.
people not being able to talk about their topics. That was one of my concerns.
Yeah.
Because if one person hijacks the meeting. Okay, so if you guys had to pick a topic for June,
I thought it was meet the
Dayton-
council.
okay. So
Just
let
like,
me visualize
no.
that. Just tell me how that's gonna go.
Okay, ready? We're all gonna introduce
it to me.
ourselves. We're gonna give a background. This is what we care about. Like, this is what makes Minerva Park like an important community to us. We're all looking to obviously make it better. We're open to suggestions. And this is what we're working on, the amphitheater, blah, 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 blah. So we do an introduction about everybody that's new and old, just a refresher course, because there's new residents moving in all the time.
Yep.
And the whole point is like a meet and greet to make everybody more comfortable. So we're more approachable instead of like, it really hurts my soul when people are saying like, well, you guys aren't super approachable. I get it, because part of me, like when I walk into a room as a doctor and I have like a syringe in my hand and like, people are like, ugh, I get that, but like I try to be as approachable as possible. Like, I'm just a human. I'm a person. Like, you can talk to me, like, and I want that to be felt throughout the village. So I think that's the message I'm trying to convey with that first meeting, at least. And in
I like
June,
that.
it's like nice, everybody will come out, hopefully. What I don't want to see is a complaining session about a specific topic that nobody knows about. Because I think
Well, I
that's
don't, yeah, and I think if we did like what Councilperson Berger said, I think that actually would curb a lot of my worries about stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So what days in June, I'm looking at it, what days did we say that we were gonna do? Did we pick official day? I don't know if we did or not.
I don't know.
That was something we were talking about, yeah.
I
I
love
don't
the
see what I have.
idea of doing like sticking with a Thursday because you guys are typically available. And again, this means it is ultimately your choice, but when we did our like coffee with councils, we stuck with Mondays because most of us already had Mondays free. Now that said, maybe you think that Thursday evenings are not good for residents. So it doesn't like, again, it's not going to affect anything. I have nothing planned for June at this point. So that was kind of the thought, just to do it in between your two meetings. So you have the meeting here, and you do the Thursday between that. And then whatever time you guys decide, 6:37, 7:30. And yeah, I think it's great to do a meet the council. And honestly, that's going to give you guys an idea to know like what people do want to talk about, because individually they're
Yeah.
going to come up to you and they're going to say, you know, look, this is what concerns me. But again, it's not this big one person show or two people show. You're giving
Correct.
everybody the opportunity to say, Stacey, I'm thrilled about you doing all the sewer work, but hey, can you focus a little bit more on streets? Because this is what I'm
Yeah.
seeing. I think
Mhm.
that's what you're going to get. I think I don't want to call it complaining, because ultimately, and again, I know some of the emails and all this, I'm not going to go there, but ultimately it's not complaining. It's people stressing concerns about the things that they want. So I don't want to take that away from people. They're obviously concerned about it. So I don't ever want to say it's a complaining session. They're concerned about this. They have a valid point, regardless if you agree or disagree. It's something that they want to talk about. But again, maybe not everybody wants to talk about sewers, because that's not important to the new section right now. So
Yeah,
I love the way that
topic.
just letting
Yeah.
people talk.
Okay, so the first one, if we would try it on a Thursday, let's try it. That would be like the 9th or the 16th. We can do a meet the council where we each introduce ourselves, what committees, projects, what we're passionate about, and then say, you know, we're interested in hearing what you have to talk about. Please feel free to walk up to any of us and communicate. What's up, Barb?
The
16th.
meetings in June are the 9th and the 23rd. So the 16th would be the open date in between.
Okay, what about the 2nd?
The 2nd, there is nothing on that day.
Correct.
We could do that as well.
So what are you guys thinking?
I like the 16th because of Memorial Day weekend. Memorial Day weekend is like the third. I just think that's too close on the 2nd. I will personally be
agree.
in town because we're working on the pool that week, but I'm just saying, I think resident wise, the 16th might be better. Also, that's really close to graduations. 16th again, still
Yeah,
might
good
be
point.
better.
Yeah.
Okay, so can we agree on the 16th? That way we can start communications. And we'll just ask after we introduce ourselves, say this is more of an introductory one. We want to hear, what do you want to talk about? Give us some ideas, walk around and talk to each of us. I just needed to visualize how it was gonna, you know what I mean? Okay. Does anybody have anything else before we move to our next one?
I think we
Hello?
covered a lot.
All right. I appreciate you guys and I will see you in the next meeting.
Okay. Tiffany, I'm gonna send you an email real quick just to figure out a date for streets.
Perfect.